Good morning, Discord. Good morning, YouTube, X, Instagram, all the rest. Let's get into it. Okay, so in pre-market, we had a spike up, and then we see some volatility sell off real quick. The 5 is at 84.36. Let me make sure, is my audio working? Everything's cool? All right, cool. All right, let's see how deep this pullback goes. Let's see how we react to this little liquidity box I have here. Before we start, do not consider this financial advice. Trading stocks involve risk. The owner of the channel, the traders that appear in the broadcast, and their affiliate companies are not liable for any losses inflicted in relation to its content. Once you're done reading that, go to the website down below, livespytrading.com. All right, let's see if they want to grab some liquidity off the 5, and we'll get some sense of direction. If we break, retest, and reject to the upside, we're going to see if we're going to target the 20. So if we break, retest, and reject, we're going to see if the 20 is going to be our next stop, or if each key level, right? Each key level is going to be stop by stop. We're going to go level by level. This would be our ideal upward scenario. Just let me clean this up just a bit for right now. I need to be able to see. Okay, so there's, look at this, two points right here, basically. What is this? 84.29 all the way down to 82.84. Look at this bar coding. So they're building up a lot of liquidity. When it moves, it's gonna move quick. So we might not be able to catch the initial move. Don't FOMO into any other move. Just, we gotta wait for the proper setup. It may take a little bit today. So I want to know what we're going to do inside this liquidity box here. If we break retest underneath, or if we break retest above. But kind of already you see and then we also have I got to be careful at the 5, right? You got to be careful. Let's see if they're doing this real quick. A lot of liquidity right here. Look at this. This is a whole, basically 2 or 1.5 at least in one candle. So this is a lot of buildup right here, and we may miss the move. we're gonna have to be okay. We're gonna have to be okay with that. So we have a criteria for our trades, and you know, usually we like 15 minutes to go, at least 15 minutes. We need data. We just like more data. All we know is we have barcoding chopping right here. This purple seems to be holding up. We see some rejection wicks on the 5. So this will give us a good chance to test the purple. A lot of rejection wicks on this on the 5 MA. Let's check the higher time frame. Our time frame says we're below the water. The 30 minutes says we're above the water, but maybe starting our bear cycle. What the hell? Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, let them figure this out right here, okay? This is going to be a significant area. For some reason, I don't know why I have this marked out, but I do. So let them figure this out. A lot of rejection candles. Or wicks, rather. You got 2 minutes on this candle. Damn, look at this look at this price action. Dangerous. We don't have to worry because we're not jumping in on anything that doesn't look juicy. If it don't look good, we don't have to mess with it. No reason to risk our money. I mean, you know, there's gonna be some risk to some degree, but we want to mitigate the loss. All right, now let's see how they react to the 5. Again, remember, ideally, I'm gonna see a break, the retest, and the reject of the 5. All right, we're gonna see if this is gonna get us, if the magenta can get us to 86.27. Otherwise, we're just still in here. So be patient while we're in here. In between the 5 and the 20, you know, that's a little risky in there as well. If we get above the 20, we're gonna let it run a little bit. If we're inside the 5 and the 20, we're scalping inside of here, okay? It just has to be like that. So we can't commit to this because we want to know if it's going to be a stop hunt. We have to protect against the stop hunt here. We also have to recognize our environment. Recognize the environment we're in. Not every day is a trading day, and we have to understand the risk, the risk management involved. For example, you know, if the whole day is like this, then there's no real trade here, right? That's all I'm trying to say. We just have to understand the environment. We don't need to jump in on every trade. Even if this shoots up, you got to be okay with letting it go, and because we need a proper setup. So I guess we'll see if this is going to be the break, the retest, and the reject of the 5. Me personally, this looks a little thin. This is kind of thin structure for me. I like to see it deeper. In my opinion, this is still in stop hunt territory. So let's see if we can build in this. We want to get, if this is the thing, we want to see the same setup. We want to see the same setup. I'll show you what I mean when it happens. If it happens, we'll see it. What I'm trying to say is we want to get a comfortable distance away from the 5, retest the 5, and then reject. That would be ideal. Now, is it possible it just shoots up from here? That's possible. But if we're in between this 5 and this 20, you got to chase this stuff. You got to scalp it. Let's check higher time frame. All right, now they're testing the top of this liquidity box here. All right, if they want to go up, those are the paths on the 5 minute for the up. If it doesn't look something like this, then that's not our setup. We'll identify it. If you took the break and retest of the 5, you gotta chase it, right? If you took this right here, you gotta chase it. All right, brand new candle. All right, now let's see how they react to the 5. So we got a little bit of gap. Now let's see how they retest. You see, this would be a little bit more ideal, right? From earlier. So wait for it to look good. Everything's saying sideways. All right, let's see how this purple treats us. If they break purple, we want to see. For any put scenario, I think this would be our best bet. Unless we get below 83.20, or what is this? 83 minimum. We got to be below this before we even start looking at puts. Minimum. We got to see if they're going to build some strength off the 5. Okay. No rush to get into anything. Just give it a second. This has to happen. All of it. All of this has to happen. Whatever I have on the 5, all of this must happen. We're gonna have to be patient today. We're back at market open. Well, if they break this magenta, we don't want to overstay our welcome because there's another key level right at 86.27. So what we want to see is which setup they're giving us. This one, which would make this our 50-50, or this one. This is kind of all right. They went right back to high a day. Let's see if we can break high a day. Okay, protect your trade now. Now you need to protect your trade. I'm not saying to stop out. I'm saying to not let it go against you. That's all I'm saying. There's no reason to let this go red. Everyone cool? This is an easy one, right? Just don't overstay your welcome. We still gotta wait till, let's see what happens at 86.27. Let's see what we got. 84.81 to 85. This is a full point. We're gonna go ahead and count this one. Bang. Remember, on the break of this magenta, we want to see if we can get, well, the break of the magenta was the entry. Our put entry had to be the break below this purple with a break and retest of 83.56. This is one full point right here. Let's see if they give us one more pop. There it goes. Dang. Easy money, right? No stress. Very simple, very easy. Your trade's protected. You can't lose from here. Now you follow your exit strategy. Cool. Cool. That is. Okay, there we go. We just have to be a little, we didn't even have to be that patient today. Today, this was an easy one. Let me not say that. I can't say that. This is actually very difficult. This is very difficult. Very difficult, very risky. Right? Do not consider this financial advice. Trading stocks involve risk. The owner of the channel, the traders that appear in the broadcast, and their affiliate companies are not liable for any losses inflicted in relation to its content. Once you're done with that, go to lastbuytrading.com. I'll get you sorted out. I will get you sorted. Look at the money we just printed. Look at this money we just printed. It's almost too easy. But I'm not supposed to say that. But it's almost too easy. A little bit of patience. We wait for our entry. We didn't jump on anything. We didn't let the red candles, right? This is why we can't let the one candle dictate our trade. It had to be, here, let me clear it. It had to be a break, a retest. It had to be like this. And if it didn't look like this, we weren't going to be interested. What they do, immediately reject off this level. And then what they do, they gave us a hint. They gave us a hint. They retested the hint. And then this was kind of easy. They gave us plenty of time in here too. Plenty of time. But if you waited, even if you waited for the worst possible entry, money. Easy money. Now, if you're in the Discord, you didn't have to even worry about any of this stress here because we already had it marked out here. We already had it marked out on the break of this liquidity box, right? We already had it marked out in the Discord, so look at the money we're printing. If you want some good luck today, hit that like button. Hit that like button. Why not? It doesn't cost you anything. You just made a shit ton of money right now, thanks to me. You're welcome. You're welcome. Dang, no one hit the like button. That's crazy. No one hit the like button. That's crazy. Okay. Man, they don't want to help a brother out. And let me answer the question. I see someone on YouTube asking a question. Okay, I am bull. Yeah. There you go. Okay, look. I am bull. I'm answering you specifically. Is that so the path that I draw, it has to do this, right? We have to break this level, retest this red level, and then reject off of this red level. So when I'm drawing things, certain things have to happen. Now, in the Discord, we have something called lick boxes, liquidity boxes. And the break and retest of these liquidity boxes are, we know what to do there. So you got to join the Discord to get that type of information. Otherwise, you're kind of, I get it, YouTube, it's free and someone's on, but you're not going to maximize on YouTube. You have to be on in the Discord to understand what I'm saying, because I speak different than a lot of other people. They have their own language, they have their own, or I think they speak more traditional. I have things like, what is this, a red ranger, right? That's not a thing in the stock market. So I have my own special lingo, and I just to make it easier for everybody, because I think sometimes they try to talk over everyone's head, when the truth is, look at this money we just printed this morning. The truth is that it can only either go up or down. It's only going to go up or down unless you get caught in chop. But for the most part, you got two options. You have a call option and a put option. So I try to make it as simple as possible, because they have to make it seem complicated in order to seem like they have some type of intellectual superiority. Oh, I did that on purpose. But they have to make it seem like that. And the truth is, it's not that complicated. But I should say, do not consider this financial advice. Trading stocks involve risk. The owner of the channel, the traders that appear in the broadcast, and affiliate companies are not liable for any losses inflicted in relation to its content. If you're able to lose somehow, then this ain't for you. Because I couldn't have been any more clear. I literally said the break of the magenta, and we're going to see if it gets us to 86.27. All of that happened. I said in order for this put scenario, it has to break, retest, and reject. So if you took a loss somehow, that's crazy. Look at the money we printed. We're still in exit strategy 1, by the way. We're still in exit strategy 1. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at the money. Look at the money we're printing. We're still in exit strategy 1. Oh my goodness. Yes. Whoa. I don't even know what to say. Beautiful. So look, if you got chopped up yesterday, no big deal. The home runs will come. You stick with it. You stick with it. The home runs will come. As long as you don't over leverage, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. I got you. Look at this. Look at this. Could you ask for anything better? Could you ask for a better entry? Could you ask for, I mean, some people would. Some people would. They'd be like, sure, you showed me the entry, but you weren't pussy popping on a handstand, so I'm not interested in it. Okay. You can't make everybody happy. You're never going to make everyone happy. And I said that to tell you maybe you should stop trying to please everybody, because it's just never going to happen. Whew. We had a great day. And look, Discord. This is the point, I'm not telling you to stop out. Obviously, we're still in exit strategy 1. Look at the money. But this is the point where you need to be like, hey, look, I had a good day. Do you look how much work we did in 45 minutes? Not even. So, oh no, it's coming up to an hour shortly. Whatever. In a short amount of time. Look at the money we printed. Come on now. What I'm saying is, this is the point right here is where you need to say, hey, look, I had a good day. I'm okay with leaving. Even if this thing keeps giving us easy setups like this, even if it does, you need to understand how to grow your account. Once you grow that account little by little, then I'm going to get you to the multiple contracts. There's a process to this. If you skip the process, it's going to be difficult. Just stick with the process, right? That's going to take, hold on, let me focus real quick. Okay, I'm all set up. So we can't lose from here. I'm probably going to take profit on my first set shortly, and then I'll let the runners run for a little bit, but I'm going to be reasonable with it. I'm not going to get greedy. So there's a process, and it starts with paper trading. I know no one wants to hear that. I know no one wants to hear it. You want to, especially if you're brand new and you see this happen and you're like, wait, what? I could have just made, I get it. I understand. Hold on, let me focus. This one got me for my first set. All right, my first set of contracts. Oh my, don't do that. That's okay. My first set gone right here. I'll let the runners run for a little bit. So I know no one wants to hear to paper trade, and because you're thinking, well, I just spent 150 bucks. I want to make this money back. I get it, but there's a process to it, and it's all figured out in math. It's all math, all math. So if you're going against math, then you know something I don't. But there's a process to it, and it starts with paper trading, and you want to paper trade for a bit, so you know that you understand what I'm saying, because you're going off my setups, obviously, right? You want to make sure you understand what I'm saying, and also in that time, you're going to learn how the market breathes. You're going to learn that the red candle is going to turn around and smack you in the face and keep going. You're going to learn, like, very important, however long it takes you, 2-3 weeks, maybe even two months to paper trade. Once you build that paper trade account to a certain level, then we're going to start playing with actual money. Then we're gonna break open the wallet, and we're gonna do one contract. Because here's the thing, everyone's a superstar on paper trade money. As soon as you break open that wallet, everything changes. You'll start sweating out of places you never knew you could sweat out of. You'd be like, no. Everyone's like, hey, are you okay? No, I'm not crying. My eyes are just sweaty. That's what's gonna happen. Okay, am I talking to someone specifically? Sorry, Raul. Sorry about that, but people. Sorry about that. But look, we do this every day. So this is not a surprise. This is not a surprise. The education you're getting, you can't really put a price tag on it, because the freedom that it enables you is, I can tell you, it's you can't put a price tag on it. As long as you don't over leverage, it's okay to take the loss. We want to win the war. The battle, you're going to lose battles from time to time, and you got to know what battles to pick and choose. It's the war we want to win. Man, I wanted Solitaire to get in here, because if Solitaire gets in here, tell him he needs to look at the thin structure versus deep, or excuse me, thin liquidity versus deep structure lesson. Because I think he got caught on thin structure yesterday, and I felt bad. I want to give him like a little one-on-one today. All right, I'm gonna start to adjust my my runners now. Let me make sure they're reasonable. I'm gonna let this settle out. I'd like to be able to hold till the 20. I don't know if I got it in me for that. Because... Okay, here we go. Because I don't like drawdown. I'm not the type for it. I don't like drawdown. You know, and I get FOMO sometimes, but not as bad as before. I used to get FOMO that will last me until the next, or like well into after hours, well into the day. After the trading's closed, I'm still FOMOing from, damn, why didn't I do this? Now, you know, I'll beat myself up a little bit. Hold on, let me focus. See, I'm not prepared to be, especially after this. Look at this. I'm not prepared to take serious drawdown. No. I took profit up here. Let's see what else I got. I'll try to give him a little bit below 86.91. Other than that, I'm not gonna. No, you know what? I'll chase it. If I get stopped, I get stopped. I'm not gonna be worried. Or maybe if I hurry up, I can split up the contracts. Another split. Give me a second. I'll be right back. I'm still here. I just need to. Hold on. Give me a second. Okay, I'm back. All right, I got everything set, so now I'm comfortable with all my stops. Comfortable with my runners. Whatever happens, happens. I'm gonna see if I can hit that 20. That's what I'm gonna try to the best of my ability. But I don't need to be a hero for anybody. If I take profit here, I take profit right here. I'm okay with that. And if it shoots up to the 20 and past, whatever. We do it every day, right? So you have to understand the FOMO is going to wreck your brain. The FOMO is going to make you want to jump into everything. Let's say you want calls and you see a green candle, the FOMO is going to make you be like, oh, okay. That's God telling me something. You're gonna. Here we go. Here we go. And also, we need to let the charts tell us what's happening. The charts are gonna tell us everything we need to know, right? So for example, if we wanted a put scenario, the chart had to tell us that we broke this level, 83.56, we retested this level, 83.56, and we rejected this level, 83.56. The charts had to tell us that. So if they didn't tell us that, then we have to listen. Well, what are they saying? Well, we know that our next opportunity was this bolt up. If it wasn't this shoulder, or excuse me, the right shoulder here, it was the bolt up and the flexion, right? And we also identified the ideal entry, which was on the break of this magenta, which just so happened to coincide with the momentum candle off the 5. So we had a little bit of confluence there. We had a little bit of confluence here as well, right? Discord, you probably know, a little bit of confluence here as well. So we had more than one thing telling us that this is a decent trade. So now I'm glad I really held my discipline here, because now I can maximize. I'm okay with taking profit here, that I got stopped out here. I'm okay with that. But now I didn't get too tight with the runners. I followed my strategy, and you know, that's always going to be the best, because when you don't follow your game plan and it goes against you, it hurts way worse. When you don't follow the game plan and it goes, and then you're going to say, I knew it. Everyone does that. This is normal. If this is you, you're on the right path. You're on the right path. It just means you're a human being, and we have emotions, and this is the emotion is the hardest part, because a lot of times it's not even about, I just lost 10 bucks. We throw away $10 on trash every day. Especially in Western civilizations, we throw away money, like OnlyFans, cocaine, whatever, you name it. We throw away money on it. Even guns, probably. but we throw away money on that stuff. And then, but when it comes to this, is because the money that is behind this, you also have hopes and dreams that are behind that. That's behind every dollar. So it hurts a lot more because you think like, man, all my hopes and dreams, and then you start doubting yourself, and then you start thinking, well, how can everyone else do it? This MFer is an idiot. If they can do it, I can do it, right? Then we get into these. There we go. Hold on. Let me adjust. Give me a second. Okay. And then we tell ourselves, if they can do it, I can do it. And it's true. The only difference is you don't have the experience to understand how to control the emotion. That is the only difference. That is the only difference. And then also, sometimes we don't have the experience to understand what a reasonable amount of stop is and what a reasonable take profit is. I don't use take profit, but I'm saying like I always use a stop loss. I don't do take profit. Sometimes maybe I should, but I use stop loss. So I just trail everything, right? So when it's going in my favor, I move my stop little by little with it, little by little. Look at this money we printed today. Look at this money. And human beings, they have the emotion, and that's the hard part. That's the hard part, because that red candle comes in, or even a few red candles, and if you don't have your game plan set, then you're trading off of hopes and vibes, and that's hopes and vibes trading. Not ideal. It's not ideal. Me? I did okay. And I don't like to post certain things. I don't post because it's irrelevant. I want to be different than all the other traders that are saying, look how much I did, look how much I did. My goal is to show you that you can do it, because the look how much I did, that's a selling tactic, and I get it. It's a business. He's gonna have to sell it to some degree, but I don't like to give false expectations. I don't want to do that. Well, if he did, X amount of money, so let's say well over 4 figures today, or maybe getting into the 5. If he did that, then that means I should be doing, and that's reckless. In my opinion, that's reckless. Is it possible? Of course. Anyone could bet their whole bank account at any point in time and double it or whatever it is. But I think, as I'll say, a streamer, because I stream every day, and in this type of, hold on, let me focus. Okay, as a streamer, give me 1 second. Okay, with this type of risk involved, there's people that are hanging on your every word, and I understand that, and that's not a responsibility I take lightly. So, and I always see certain everything, right? Whenever they show you, oh, look at this Lamborghini, look at this Ferrari, look at X, look at Y, but they don't tell you how much debt they're in. They don't tell you how much debt they're in. All they show you is the glitz and the glamour, and that always made me think of like, oh, look at this used car salesman. And I never liked that vibe, right? It always seems like a grimy used car salesman, and they got fake Rolexes in their coat pocket and things like this. Whenever I see that stuff, it's really, to me, it's a turnoff. But for some reason, human beings, were very attracted to that. We're very attracted to that because it shows us like, well, if they can do it, I can do it. But there's probably more behind it. That's how I view it. There's probably more behind it, because I know there's no such thing as a free lunch. I know that. So I personally, I don't like to show P&L because it's irrelevant. My P&L is irrelevant to the people I'm trying to help. I want to know, can they understand what I'm saying and how you can make this work for you, for whatever your circumstances. Maybe cars and clothes and things are not your main concern. Maybe you just want some stability in life, right? So Now, are the cars and clothes possible? Yeah, of course. Yeah, for sure. For sure. It's not important though. The important thing, you know, if I were to promote stability, you know, I wish that was a selling point to people. Hey, look, we don't have to hit home runs every day. We're gonna make it little by little, and we're gonna be comfortable. People don't want to hear that. They want to be like, I'm gonna be mega rich. That's what they want to hear. And it's easy to be mega rich, and you're gonna do it instantly. The instant gratification, things like this, things of this nature. You know I make it look easy, but the hard part is the emotion. It's your mental thought process when we're in a trade. That's the hard part. And that's the exact same thing that can make you win is the exact same thing that can make you lose. And that's the scary part. Because you're always gonna wonder, well, how do I know when is when? I get it. And what I can say is, as long as you don't over leverage, you stick to your game plan. You know we have a winning strategy. I post the wins every day. I have my end of day reports every day for the most part, you know, when I can. I've been religious with it lately, but so the strategy is not the issue. It's simply your emotion that gets involved. But if I can sell stability, man, let me tell you, I'd be number one. Because me selling my P&L, what's that gonna do for you? And that shit can be Photoshop, especially in this day and age. Pictures and videos really don't mean much now. The only thing I think now is like, if that's not real, then man, that AI is really good. That's what I think. Yeah, my truck, I love my truck. The car in the garage, that thing stays there. The garage queen. My truck, Nissan Frontier, love that thing. And then even when I was buying a truck, I'm like, everyone likes Tacoma. I should probably get a Tacoma. You know, they're reliable, X, Y, and Z. But I was like, man, but for the price point, and I got my Frontier, and I've never looked back. Now I got it hooked up, but now it's all, off-roady. But before, I convinced myself because everyone else had a Tacoma, and I think the newer ones look kind of good too. They a lot of aftermarket parts for Tacoma. Hold on, let me focus right here. Actually, I'm gonna let whatever happen. So I already have my stop set. So I split it up into 3 tranches this time. Usually I just do 2. My first got taken out here. My second, I'm gonna take at A751. So it's, I'm gonna hold the third until, I'm gonna try to hold the third until the 20. Because it's very rare that I have that I even have the mental capability to do it. Sometimes I'm just like, look, I'm taking my money and getting out. I don't care. And it's kind of a challenge to myself, but this is actually a stupid challenge I don't need to take. It would be a self-inflicted wound if I'm just gonna let whatever happens. I'll be okay. But anyways, yeah, sometimes the glitz and the glamour stuff is not even all that. Like, there's shoes out there. I'm not like a fashion person. There's shoes out there called Balenciaga. And for the life of me, I couldn't. All right, my second. All right, they're dancing on my stop. They're about to test it. For the life of me, I couldn't understand why people like this Balenciaga shoe, because it just didn't. It wasn't very appealing to my eye. I don't know what everyone else sees in it. And then I looked at the price. It was $900, and this was maybe a few years ago. It was $900 for a pair of ugly shoes. In my opinion, it was very, very, very ugly. And people were buying it. I was like, God dang. Why? And it has to be you're just buying it because other people are buying it. It can't be because you actually think this thing looks good. There's no way. It has to be because you want to like let other people know of your status or something of that sort. And I just never really cared about that. The shoes, I can't deal with those shoes, man. I think they're like sneakers. I don't know if they have any other stuff, but the shit I was looking at was sneakers, and it looked like someone built the shoes on Minecraft or like a Game Boy. It was very blocky and gaudy, and you know, especially if you have like maybe a small figure, and then you see big ass clown shoes. I'm like, wait, what? Why are your shoes look like flotation devices? Like big old clown shoes on a very slender person. It just, I don't know. To me, that's just my eye. But I'm also old. So who knows? And I know I don't know about fashion, so it could be a very fashionable thing. If I can make it to the 20 with the second tranche, that would be amazing. I'll be honest, I haven't held this long in a long time. This is the longest time no, not the longest, but it's I haven't been able to hold like this for a long time. We did okay today. We did okay, right? We did all right. And one thing that makes it easier is that I am streaming live, so I have to hold myself accountable. So I'm kind of just like, it makes me do it, which is good. I'm forced to follow it. I'm you know, so I can't, you know, I'm less twitchy with the stops. I'm just leaving it, letting it go. Now the mascot, this guy's getting tired. This guy's getting tired. This is the only flex we do on LSD. This is the only flex. You know, if the average person can't see or understand, like, you know, this is probably a big win for the stock market, day trading specifically. If the average person can't see that, then I think they need to do a little bit more homework before they decide to join a trading community, because they're just going to get chopped up left and right. So if it's not obvious and clear to you, you know, what these paths mean, things like that, then I don't recommend you join any trading community. I recommend you do a little bit of homework on your own to understand, number one, how options work. Understand that portion first. Now, if you want to learn along the way and you're willing to pay that $150 a month, sure, you can do that too in paper trade. You can do that too, but to maximize your money, I recommend you do a little bit of homework first, and it's worth it. It's definitely worth it. It will definitely change your life. Now, some people, they are very attracted to the, you know, they like the gambles. They like the highs of the big wins. They really like the highs of the big wins, and they like the highs of, and I'm talking about mental. They like the highs of big stakes, large stakes. When the stakes are high is what I mean. So they like to bet big and win big. There's some people that are very addicted to that. It's like dopamine whenever they gamble, and they view this as a gambling, like it's a casino, instead of viewing it like it's a job, right? So if you view it as a job, it's going to be much more boring, much more mundane. It's going to be, okay, well, what did the price do? It did this? Okay, I know what to do. What did the price do? It did this? Okay, I know what to do. Very mundane, very boring. Once you can get there, that's when the consistency comes in. But if you're constantly with sweaty armpits, give me 1 second. If you're constantly with sweaty armpits every time you're trading, then it's something you need to work to get through. You need to get through that. You shouldn't have fear when you're taking a trade. It should be, you know, the boss says buy call here, and the boss is the stock market, right? The boss says buy call here. The boss says buy put here. That's what it should be. There should be no. This is about to take out my second set. I don't know if I can take any more drawdown. Okay, please bounce up from here. Please bounce up from here. Come on, I've been so good. And okay, I'm just gonna let whatever happens happens. I'm not gonna talk about it anymore. And I cannot. I really need to get up and walk away. But oh, come on. I've been so good. Give me a little bit bounce so I can chase it at least. A little bit of bounce so I can chase it, and then okay. All right, now I'm not okay. Give me this is the part that I hate. This is the part that I hate. Which is a good problem to have, right? The take profit part. This is the part that I hate. You guys hear me go through it every day. This is the worst part for me. Taking the trade, that's not really an issue, but because we never have to worry about the entries. It's always the exit. It's always the exit that gets me. Okay. All right. I'm just gonna stick to my plan, especially because I'm live right now. So, where were we? Who's gambling? Some of you guys like to gamble. Some of you like to gamble. I know it. Okay, yeah, I saw it. Thanks, Rhino. I didn't see it, but thanks for the heads up. Wait, is everything? Can you guys hear me or no? Okay. All right. Oh my. Hold on. If it goes below this dotted line, I'm gonna get taken out. Okay. It got me. It got me on that one. This little tiny bit got me, so I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I actually I didn't keep the third set, so I got stopped out of everything. I didn't break it. I put the third set back. Changing up my plan at the last minute. If it goes to the 20, I'm gonna. I mean, it's more likely than not, but I probably hate myself. Anyways, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get up, circulate some blood, and I'm gonna walk away for a second. I'll be right back. Don't overtrade. Do not overtrade. I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. Let's see what we got. Okay. So if you're able to hold a little bit longer, I got stopped out. If you're able to hold a little bit longer, good on you. I'm not going to complain because we did enough to, you know, I really don't need to trade for the rest of the week, but we all right. And you know, I defined my risk. I understood my risk. I knew what was most likely going to happen, but you know, the emotions get to you, and that's just what it is. But I'm also not the greedy type. I'm also not greedy. So if that's what it is for me, and I'm okay with that, then I'm going to be okay with that. If it goes up to the 20 and there's everyone's still in exit strategy, let's say 3, if you're using exit strategy 3, which you probably should be implementing, if you're using that strategy and you're able to, and you're that type of person, then I'm happy for you. I'm genuinely happy for you, because if you all don't succeed, then that means I don't succeed, and my success isn't measured in P&L. My success is measured in the ability to change people's lives. That's how I measure my success, because I know tomorrow is going to be another day. There's always another trade around the corner. So I'm not really concerned about P&L. I'm concerned about helping other people that were maybe in the same stressful situation I was in. That's what I'm concerned about. My P&L is irrelevant. That's why I never post it. It doesn't even matter. I can make that shit up. I can easily Photoshop anything and make that shit up. But why? That does nothing for anybody who's listening to me. My question to you is, can you understand that this means buy call and how to use this information for your benefit? My P&L, anyone else's P&L, anyone else's Ferrari, that's irrelevant. How does that help you? If you can understand this and this, if you can understand the price needed to break, retest, and reject for puts for 83.56, and the price needed to break, retest, and reject, we identified the entry. If you can understand this, then you'll be all right. If this is still confusing, you need a little bit more time. You need a little bit more time. So if you're in exit strategy 3, you're doing all right. You're doing all right. But luckily for me, which I stated a while ago, I stated this, you know, I also sell puts, so I'm gonna be okay. You don't always have to buy a call. You can also sell a put. So either way, you know, just the day trade one got stopped out, but the puts that I'm selling, that's collecting money. That's in collection. Hold on, Alvaro, you can't see the stream. Why is that? Can you hear me, Alvaro? Can you still hear me? Okay, Solitaire's here. I wanted to talk to Solitaire. Is the stream good or no? Is it not good? Because Alvaro says he can't see the stream. Huh, I wonder what's going on. Okay, so it's specific users that are having issue with the Discord, I'm assuming? Okay, Solitaire. Yesterday, well, let me not call you out by name, but anyways. So I think you got caught in thin liquidity yesterday. So this is just for maybe newer members or certain people. I know it's for me, so I'm gonna take a little bit of time right here to give a little lesson. Let's say we have a move like, like a strong move, and it's a strong move and stuff like this. Let's say that's the move, and we've already identified our whatever our algorithm is. Let's say we identified it. Now, for every single move, every single trade, there has to be more than one reason to tell you to take a trade. Now, if we're taking trades, let's say the price got down here, and the next, and the break of teal, let's say, is the call out, and the price does this and breaks teal, and then it does another dump, and then you see the break of teal again, right? And then you're like, okay, well, this is the setup right here. There's a couple things you need to take into consideration. Number one, did we have a large movement? 3-4 points, that's kind of a significant movement. So there's going to need to be a pullback. Number two, we never want to buy puts on the bottom. We never want to buy puts on the bottom. Okay? What I recommend is if it's going down, and you see it about to do the same thing that it just did up here, we have to identify liquidity. Thin liquidity is going to look like this. And it just so happened that the thin liquidity, it had enough strength to break through again. An ideal scenario is for a pullback, and a significant pullback before the break. Then this one would be reasonable. If it's just doing this, if it's just doing that, it's going to be tough to catch this. It's going to be tough to catch these. What you want is the deep structure. And if it doesn't happen, then it doesn't happen. But buying puts in the bottom or buying calls on the top, I don't recommend that. What I do recommend is if you're in this situation and you're like, it's about to break again, ask yourself, was there, let's say you want to buy puts, you got to ask yourself, did this pull back enough to build strength? Because we need to build in this one before we can break this one. So we have to build in the opposite direction to know we have strength. There has to be a structure there. Now, sometimes it happens where it just breaks and it has enough strength to go down to the next level. But the more it does that, the more caution we need to have. Now, let's say you are on the bottom and you're like, well, how do I know what the setup is? Here's going to be the setup. If you're on the bottom and you see thin liquidity, your best bet at the bottom is, again, you don't want to buy at the bottom. What you want to do is wait for the break, wait for a retest, and then wait for a reject. And then you can use, then blue will be teal would be your entry. Or if you were to get it here, you got to chase it if it does break. Keep a really tight stop here if it does break. And if you're brave, you're going to wait for the retest and reject. So all of this is covered in the thin structure versus thin liquidity versus deep structure. It's all in that lesson. So I recommend you go through it. And we have to be okay with, here's the thing, like the FOMO is going to, look at this, to the 20, right? The FOMO is going to kick in, and you're going to say, well, it broke the teal last time, I'm not going to miss it this time. If it broke the teal last time, should put you on alert. Okay, now I need to wait for the deep structure here. Now I need to wait for the setup. It's not always going to be just because it broke, right? It broke, but we had a pullback, or it broke and we had a break and retest. It always has to be like that. So, okay, cool. I don't want to keep beating a dead horse, but if you get caught in that scenario, now you know how to handle it. And if it never happens where it gives you a deep structure pullback, which I explained in the lesson, if it doesn't happen, then we have to be okay with that. The setup wasn't there. It's just continuation from the last one, and we missed the entry. We're just going to wait for the next proper entry. That's how we have to view it. It can't be, well, it broke it, so it has to be more than one thing. More than one thing telling us. Wait, you're losing audio too? So some people are losing audio and some people are not losing audio. That's what I'm understanding. Huh. Damn. Some people are losing audio. I don't know if that's something on like. It says streamer mode enabled. Maybe there's an update. Did you guys update your Discord? Maybe there's an update. Most of us can hear it, and it can't be in the stream. What? Okay, well, if that's the case, then maybe run the YouTube live in the background. Look at it going to the gosh darn 20. Who didn't know that? No, I'm just kidding. I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this. Everyone heard me say out loud, even though it's most likely gonna hit the 20. And I stop myself out for no reason. Yeah. I go through it too. I go through it too. You know, it doesn't mean it is gonna hit the 20, but it's just more probable than not. It's more probable than not. And this is all based off probabilities, right? Because no one actually knows. No one actually knows. We just have to let the market tell us where the momentum's going. Once we understand the momentum, right? Once we understand the momentum, then it gets a lot easier. It gets a lot easier. That's funny. That's funny. I've told that story too. I'm in tears. That's hilarious. Are we friends now that we have inside jokes? Okay. We have inside jokes with each other. That's funny. Okay. Yeah, we're just chopping around in here. It's gonna maybe a slow grind to the 20. Let me see if we can. Let me do some work. Let me do some work. I'm gonna clean this up just a bit. I think this little shoulder here was probably helpful. Let's see when this happened. 84.32. 84.32. Okay, look, right here. 84.32. Wait, where is it? 84.32, right? Right here. 84.32. Look at the candle that it's on. This is look, 84.32. The exact flexion for our whatever this little cup is, this little shoulder right here. So once it gets to 84.32, which happened right here, that should have been a little clue. But it, you know, that's hard to translate. I get it. That's hard to translate, but now you know. If you didn't know, now you know. Let me do some work really quick for you guys. And let me, okay, you can sit down. Have a seat. There you go. But as far as this play goes, man, it's really raining outside. Who the heck? Oh, okay, this guy's at my front door in the rain. Alright. This has got to be one of the best dancers ever. With all that mass he's moving, he's nimble. He's nimble. Look at this guy. I found another one of him crip walking. It's pretty good. Alright, let me do some work now. I'll be right back. I'm here. I'm just doing work. Okay, Discord. All the setups are put on the 5-minute chart. So if it doesn't do that, then we're just gonna slowly grind in a direction. We're gonna slowly grind in a direction. But you know what it needs to look like. If you want access to the 5-minute chart, you gotta join the Discord. And we need to watch out for the liquidity grab off the 20. What did I tell the stream yesterday? All right, look, so morning volatility coming up on 11 o'clock. We have to see if they're gonna do what? Compression. So it's gonna be an ugly grind, maybe. Not guaranteed, but I think every single day last week was the same thing. Yesterday was the same thing. The move, right? The life cycle of the market, right? It was the morning move, the annoying grind, and then the afternoon pop. So maybe we have the morning move, the afternoon grind, and late day pop. Maybe. That's just what it was for every other day. But it looks like it's doing what it should do. But all the setups are already on the screen for the 5-minute chart. Oh, what? Raul, you don't know how to use the chart? Come on, man. All right, I'm glad you're asking now. You got to go to the charts channel. Go to the left. On the left side, you'll see it says charts, and then click on 5-minute. Click on that 5-minute, and you have to be a member, so. If you're new, welcome. Take your time. There's no rush. We do this every day. This is not a get rich quick scheme. That's not what this is. If you're new, take your time. Raul, did you get the, let me know when you get the chart. Or someone, I think one of us, can you just DM him the link? But it's always going to be in the chart channel. To the left, look to the left, click on charts, and then you'll see the one, all the charts that I have, you'll see it. Oh, okay, cool. All right. Well, when you get it open, and you'll see it. I wanted to look at this. All right, so we see the move here. We see the grind. So we see the move here. Now we see the grind. And this type of stuff is what I know I'm not cut out to hold. Like, I don't like holding through all this. I like to get my money, make the move, and get the heck out. We knew it was a high probability it's probably going to hit the 20. Very high probability. I'm just not willing to go through the pain. Some of you, I know you guys can hold. You guys can hold, sometimes to your detriment, but I'm telling you, as long as you keep your stops reasonable, as long as you keep it reasonable and don't over leverage, we're gonna get there. It's gonna take a little bit of time. Don't let the fear consume you. Also, don't let the greed consume you, because the greed, FOMO is a part of greed. If the play moved without you, it moves. Don't worry, there's always a next setup. Because what happens is you're gonna jump in knowing, oh man, I'm late, but I'm greedy. I really want to get in. You're gonna jump in, then that next candle is gonna turn around and smack you in the face, stop you out, and then keep going. That's what's gonna happen. It always does. Okay, listen, anybody in the Discord, if you hear me saying something and you don't know what I'm talking about, ask me the question, or ask the question. Someone's gonna answer. But don't sit here just like, he's saying this thing repeatedly and I have no idea what he's talking about. Ask the question. You're here, like, no one's gonna look down on you for asking the question. Like, that's not a thing. That's not a thing. We're all here to learn and help each other. So don't sit here in the dark. Do not sit here in the dark. We're playing with money here. Like, it'll be stupid if you don't ask. That's the silly thing. You gotta ask the question. If I'm saying something constantly, don't think like, oh well, these people know and I don't want to look foolish in front of them. Stop it. No one else's opinion matters. No one else's opinion matters. Only mine. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, you need to get everything you can. You know, you're spending your hard-earned money in here. You need to get every single thing you can get out of it. And if that takes holding me accountable, asking me, sending me the DM, I'm gonna answer you. I promise you. Or DC 3K, Andrade, ask them. They're good. I'm gonna let this settle out a bit. All of our plays are on the screen already. I probably need to do something with this. Probably need to do something with this here. But yeah, we want all this to happen. We want all of this to happen. Otherwise, it's just going to be an annoying grind, and we're not going to find a proper entry. You know, unless there's some big movement, like let's say we have a huge momentum candle that just, or just price action that takes us above the 20 with a look above the 20 with a break, retest, and a reject. If we get something like that, then I get it. But you know, you don't really want to get involved in here. This is going to be the slow, ugly grind. And also, exit strategy 3 is you need to start tightening up. If you're in exit, excuse me, if you're in exit strategy 3, we need to start tightening up the stop. I'm not saying stop yourself out, because obviously you've done better than me up until this point holding. What I'm saying is to not get greedy and tighten your stops. But exit strategy 3 still hitting. I was gonna take a break, now I can't move. Let's see how we react to the top of the, hold on, let me put this one, sorry, I left it 2. Let's see how we react to this, the top of this teal right here. We want to see if they do, you know, stay inside here like that, or if they want to break it, retest it. So wait for that. That might take a little bit. In the meantime, I'm going to circulate some blood. I'm going to circulate some blood. I'll be right back. Don't overtrade, okay? Be right back. Okay, this is for Zenith Z. This is on YouTube. The question is, what do the purple, pink, and teal lines represent? Let's go to the, okay. So I'm assuming this is the pink line you're talking about. This is our entry for calls. This is our call entry. This is our current trend. And then this is our algorithm. So we have our call entry, which is the break of the trend. So they're trend line, algorithm. I don't know if that answers your question. However, all of these questions are answered inside the Discord. There's a whole lesson. There's 8 lessons and some documents in there. Not very long. It'll take you maybe 25 to 45 minutes on average. Let's say 30 minutes for each video. There's about 8 of them, something like that. So I hope that answers your question. But all these questions are answered inside of the Discord. But good question. Good question. Don't be afraid to ask the question. Okay, I'm going to take my break really quick. I just wanted to answer that question. I'll be right back. Don't overtrade. Okay, I'm back. Let's see what we got. Same thing, still inside the teal. Okay, I just looked out in the backyard, and there's a whole bunch of hummingbirds, and like a odd amount of hummingbirds outside. And I was wondering, like, what happens when it gets cold? How do hummingbirds survive in like freezing weather? Is their nest like that fortified that it? Hummingbirds, interesting. Oh, come on. Well, I messed up on this here. Hold on. It's this here. I messed up. This here. My bad. Okay, it's corrected. It's corrected. Oh my god, Jones, this guy's a comedian. That's funny. That's funny. Okay, I gotta read this to the internet. Someone in the Discord said, on a scale of and he said it quick. He said it, typed it real quick. This guy's quick wit. He said, on a scale of 1 to 10, how lonely would you say you are talking about hummingbirds and whatnot? I'm actually in tears. Man, that's funny. I'm actually in tears. Okay, that's good. I like that. That's good. It was so quick. How do you think of that? That was instant. Damn. You have to be an AI bot yourself. There's no way you thought of that quick. That's funny. Whew. All right, I'm okay. Yeah, this is the annoying grind I was worried about. Not worried, but you know, we expected this. We had our move over here. We had our move, you know, inside, in between the 20 and the 5, there's not much to do. There's not much to do. You know, in all honesty, our next setup is gonna look like this. For calls, right? And the next setup for puts, your safety, quote unquote, puts, has to be like this. If we're stuck in here, you're scalping and there's nothing really to do. There's nothing really to do in here. So if you're looking for an entry and you're in here, this is on you. This is on you. If you're willing to deal with this, that's fine. Otherwise, you know, we want to look for maybe something like that, and then we want to look for something like that. But this is me being preemptive, right? I don't know what's going to happen right there or when. But at minimum, inside here, there's really nothing to do. If they want to burn out all the contracts for the end of the day right in here, I wouldn't be surprised. If it doesn't do this, there's no call entry. If it doesn't do this, there's no put entry. If you're stuck in between here, you have to be scalping. You have to scalp. If we get good price action and we get some momentum candles just stacking and stacking, then, you know, maybe you hold a little bit if you're in the scalp, but don't be greedy. Otherwise, it's going to be an annoying grind, and then we're going to see what happens when we get to the 20. All right. ORB James. Let's go, Crows. Okay, we got some jokesters in on the YouTube. I would like to know what's the experience. You've used very eye-catching terms. What's the experience that you've had with birds? Okay. Oh, James. Oh, ORB. Okay, I got you. I know who you are. My bad. James, what's up, bud? Okay, I got you. What up? All right, I'm glad you're here. Okay, I got you. Good. Yeah. Stay there. Stay right there. Hell yeah. Good. I'm glad you're here, man. It took me. I had to take the name and the icon. It took me a minute for the icon to trigger my slow brain. Okay. There's nothing to do here, folks. There's nothing to do here. Again, if you're on exit strategy 3, you need to think about tightening up that stop, right? It's getting really close to the exit portion of exit strategy 3. And I know you got two options here. You're like, look, we're right here next to this 20. I'm gonna hold for this 20. That's a possibility, but it doesn't necessarily have to. And you know, I would really hate for you to take any significant drawdown. You know, hopefully you have your stop set from here. Hopefully we're all right, but no need to take any insignificant or unnecessary drawdown. Let's see how we react to this this teal. We want to see if it's going to be a build in purple and the break of the teal. But again, we're inside this area. So if you're in here, you know you have to chase it. Let it get into profit and then chase that profit. Otherwise, what we're risking is the grind up. That is going to be an annoying grind up. And when I'm saying annoying, I mean where they go just enough to stop you out before they continue. That's what I mean by annoying. Just enough to slap you in the face, pow, and then continue on. So we're not going to know that that's not a thing. If we get below the 5, then we'll go ahead and say that's not a thing anymore. But it has to be below the 5. It simply has to be. So your safety, quote unquote, puts are below the 5. Now, if this thing breaks teal and it shoots down, my bad. Which would be equivalent to on the 5, this blue. So you see the risk on the blue, right? On the 5, that we're at a turnaround point. We're probably at a 50-50 right around here. Remember, I freehand draw this, so can't be exact. I get lucky. Even a broken clock is right twice a day, but we have to watch out for this risk number 1, right? This is our first risk for puts. So if you're in puts, your first risk is going to be here. Your second risk is going to be here. After this, then we'll probably let it run a little bit. But all that needs to happen first. So what do I mean by risk? What I mean is, if you're in puts, then you may want to start tightening up your stop around this level where this 50-50 is. And if we get past this, then we get to this level here. Let's say 87.29. Then you might want to start tightening up your stops up to here. That's what I mean by risk, because there's another path here. I could draw that better. Which means that this is probably here. Okay, Discord, all the paths are on the screen. All the risks are, look, if you made money today, there's no reason to sit here and do this all day. If you're just here for the education, fine. But trading real money, you know, if you're up, there's no reason to leave it up to anybody else to take away your money if you're already up. Take the money, be happy. We're going to do it again tomorrow. Same thing. I'm going to be here. I'm going to be quiet. I'm just watching along with you. But I'm here. I'm just being quiet. Just so everyone understands what I have on the screen. This squiggly, that's a technical term, by the way. This squiggly line represents the 20 MA. This squiggly line represents the 5 MA. This jagged, choppy line represents chop within the 5 and the 20. This bolt up indicates we want to look for a break, a retest, and a reject of this 20 MA for calls. This bolt down represents the break, retest, reject underneath the 5 MA. Just so we're clear. So this is your high risk zone. This is your best bet. This is your best bet. Inside here, good luck. Now, if you're sitting here and you're thirsty for a play and you want to take a gamble on stuff, I don't recommend you do that. I just don't. Why? Why risk the money? This is the high. This is the risk. You're in between two high levels of liquidity. The 5 MA, the 20 MA. These are very psychological numbers or levels for the market. Also, the 20 MA is the center of the Bollinger Bands. So whenever you see Bollinger Bands, the 20 is the center of it. So we're right in between the Bollinger. So this is literally, actually a 50-50 of the Bollinger, right? And everyone a lot of people use Bollinger Bands. So, but for this couple, how long have we been? Since December, we've been in this like little tight range here. Since December, we've been in this range. So we'll know what's going to happen if we bounce off this. If we bounce off of this trend line here and then create support at 95.87-ish. Maybe I'll adjust it just. Actually, I'm going to leave it where it was. If we can do this, then we'll have an idea. But if we do this, then we'll have an idea. And then we see between green and red, there's a range within there as well. And then if we get below this, There you go. So there's a lot of if then. If this happens, then that. But we'll be prepared. We already know what to do. If you didn't know, now you know. We will be prepared. Now keep in mind, I'm freehand drawing this stuff, so if it's not exact, sue me. Let's see what they got. I marked out lower day right here. So we have lower day, high of day. All right, we're coming up to this key level right here that I have the 50-50 on. So let's see how they react to, what is this, 8808-ish? This thin liquidity right here is going to be tough because it's thin. Very thin liquidity. if you entered on the break of this magenta, you better chase. You have to chase this. You gotta chase this. When I said how we're gonna see how it reacts to 8808. Remember that 8808, which was here. And the reason I did 8808 is because it is the exact center of our 50-50. So if you know, there's a small bounce here, but you have to chase this because you're inside of this. You're inside of this, so you got to chase this. And we know it's an annoying grind, so you know the environment we're in. Any real move, any real setup has to be above the 20 or below the 5. That's the answer. Because this is tough to trade in. This is very tough. So look, remember I told you we want to see if they're going to reject off the top of this teal. That's exactly what they did, right? You see the pattern. So we're in this until we're not. Once we break this, then we'll figure it out what they're trying to tell us. But we know what they're saying right now. We know exactly what they're saying. They're saying they're happy in this algorithm right here. They're happy. And if you're buying and selling, if you're buying in here, you're okay with selling within here. Oh boy, this is boring. But sometimes boring is good. Sometimes boring is good. Look, if you made money today, there's nothing wrong with thinking about calling it a day. We had a really excellent play. When I make the videos, I usually like to put at least 2 plays, but I only have for 1. Okay, let's see what we got here. Again, if you took this flexion right here, you need to chase this, okay? Don't let it go against you. I'm gonna get up, circulate some blood. I'll be right back. Don't overtrade. Okay, let's see what we got. Oh, okay. Same old annoying grind. Cool story. I'm probably going to hang out for another 20 minutes or so, and then maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and then I'm going to call it. I'll still be hanging around the Discord. I'll be in the Discord, but I'm going to cut the stream in like 20, 30 minutes. Or we'll see. If there's price action, I'll stick around. Otherwise, this annoying grind, there's no reason this is a business. There's no reason to sit here and do this all day. We made money. If these present itself, I'll be ready. We'll be ready whenever these setups present itself. Otherwise, we need to wait for the setup. Mr. Zenith on YouTube. If you're interested in learning, I'm offering a free trading session. So maybe if you want to join at the end of this session, so you're ready for tomorrow. But also what you can do in the meantime, because it's 24 hours, what you can do in the meantime is go through the lessons. Go through the lessons, and then after 24 hours, it's going to ask you what you want to do with your life. Go through the lessons overnight, and then maybe paper trade tomorrow, and then you see what's up. But if you're just brand new, take your time. There's no rush. Take your time. There's no rush here. Market ain't going nowhere. Where are you moving to, Jones? Or if you didn't know, actually don't say it, never mind. Don't say it online. Okay. Oh man, sorry about the separation. Maybe I'm sorry, maybe it's a good thing, I don't know. Oh, okay, cool. You're over it now. Now you're not hurt. No more hurt feelings anymore. Yeah, tough market for house sales. Tough market. If you don't mind me asking, how long did it sit on the market for? Oh, damn. Ooh, what? 4 years. Oh my goodness, 4 years. Oh. Four years, that's crazy. Yeah, and there's nothing you can do about it. That's such a bad situation. There's nothing you can do about it. Look at this ugly price action. This is ugly. All right, let's see how they react to this teal. Let's check higher time frame. Oh, it's breaking on the 5. It's breaking on the 5. Okay, look, if you took the break of this blue, you have to chase this, okay? This is scalp territory still. Because this 50-50 is right here at 8808. And that's just the center of it. It's really probably like this big. This is probably more accurate for the 50-50. It's in this range here. Because it'll encompass this flexion and this flexion. So if you're taking this blue, you have to chase this because we don't want to fight the trend too much, right? Our best bet for puts has to be somewhere underneath here. Somewhere underneath here. What is this? Like 87 and change-ish. That's our best bet for puts. Otherwise, we're still worried about the chop. So let's see if we get this green, 2 red, and then green continuation. Now, if you're new and you're trying to day trade, the most important thing is to preserve your account. Don't over leverage and don't swing for the fences on every trade. So if you want some quote unquote safety, your setups have to be above the 20, below the 5. Calls above the 20, puts below the 5. It has to be like that. When you get a little more experience, then you can maybe try to scalp and things of this nature. Maybe you can try to scalp, but you need to have an understanding of how it all works. So look, we broke this teal, right? We broke the teal. Now let's see what we got. it would be the blue on our 5 minute. So the blue was broken here. Key level. Hold on, let me clean this up just a bit. No, that's fine. I'll leave that. All right, we're on key level now. Let's see what they got. All right, the Brigateal for the scalp. Let's see how much. Okay, this is a good win. This is a good win right here. Brigateal from 88.29 down to 87. This is almost a full point. Now you see we're coming up to our next blue, right? So we go level by level. So if you're scalping, you're going level by level. If we get somewhere down here, then maybe let it run a little bit. We have to watch out for this teal right here. See how it's lining up with this blue? 4.5 minutes on this candle. Now we're still above the water. We're still above the water. We have about 3.5 minutes left on this 30-minute candle. So let's see if we get a strong push, the 2 red, and then continuation. Which would line up with the strong push. I guess the 2 red, we don't see it here, but it would be the continuation. That's what we want to see if it's going to happen. Three minutes on the candle. If you're waiting for the safety, wait for it. If you're waiting for the safety, wait for it. If you're scalping, you got to be on top of it, okay? Level by level, right? 2 minutes on the candle. All right, we got 1 minute on this candle. Here's another level of major liquidity right here. Major liquidity right here. Or, probably underneath this 86 or 87, I guess. Now, if you're scalping, don't overstay your welcome. Here's the shoulder right here, right? You see the shoulder? Look at this shoulder. I'm just moving it over to the side. See the shoulder? So your entry for your puts are here on the 5-minute chart. The risk is already identified. It was here, here, or excuse me, here. We've identified the risk for the shoulder. So if you took the shoulder, what I'm trying to say is you're going level by level. I've identified the possibilities for turnaround. Okay, look, we're right on the level pretty much for the flexion. So got a little bit of space, but how much time? 3.5 minutes on the candle. I'm here. I'm just being quiet. All right, let's see if they go test high a day. Interesting. Interesting. High days at basically 89. Yeah, basically 89. Let's see what we got. All right, so if you took this flexion right here, all right, you see the flexion right here? This is the flexion. This is where I drew it. This is the 50-50. So if you took the flexion, you need to protect the trade now. Now on a small scale, we want to see if they're going to give us a push, a pullback, and continuation. Yeah, Zenith, if you sign up, it'll ask you at the end of your 24-hour trial if you want to continue, and it'll cancel it automatically. If you click no, I don't want to continue, it'll cancel it automatically. You don't have to worry about that. It's asking for the card just in case you do want to continue. It's already set up. But after 24 hours, it'll say, what do you want to do with your life? And then you'll get the option, the opportunity then. We still have 17 and a half minutes on this 30-minute candle. If you're looking for the safety, wait for what needs to happen to happen. Nothing's changed. It's all the same. Nothing's changed. If you're playing the game in here, you got to be quick with it. You got to be quick with it. That's why I have this shadow chop right here to let you know it's going to be hectic in here. You'll get confirmation when this happens, or when this happens. And if none of that happens, then guess what? You didn't get caught in the chop. We got volume coming back in. See the volume increasing. I'm here. I'm just going to be quiet for a little bit. Give me a second. All right, look, let them figure out what they want to do in this lick box. So we're going to look for a BRR above or a BRR below. If you're waiting for an entry. That's probably going to coincide with this, let's see. Couple cents off, but again, this is a freehand drawing. Couple cents off over here. We got 13 minutes on this 30-minute candle. Above the water may be forming a weak bear cycle on the 5-minute. We're above the water, same thing on the 1-minute. So sideways. I'd like them to at least test high a day. I think I might be off by a little bit. Let me see. Major area right here. We're gonna figure out. We're gonna figure out our life right here. Okay. Now, if you're on YouTube and you're trying to do this, it's very difficult. It's much easier using the 5-minute chart. Much easier with the 5-minute chart. It's difficult trying to do it on YouTube and TikTok. Got about 10 minutes on this candle. It really needs to break high a day. It really needs to break high a day within this 10 minutes. Okay. I'm gonna clean up the chart just a little bit, just a little tiny bit. We're at very important level. Very important level. About 8.5 minutes on this 30-minute candle. It'd be nice if it can get above high a day within the next 8.5 minutes. Whew, we knew to expect the annoying grind, but this is annoying grind. grind for sure. It's a test of patience and a test of will. Six minutes on the candle. It'd be really nice if they test this high a day right here. It'd be really nice. Lunchtime's not really till what, 13, till 1 o'clock, or after lunch rather. Five minutes on the 30-minute candle. It's going to be a tough trading environment. Wherever this choppy stuff is, it's going to be tough. This horizontal liquidity has two channels, right? This top and bottom channel. We really need to get back up to high a day. if it wants to go up, right? That would be ideal for a higher day. So they got a minute on this 30-minute candle. So for Discord, it's going to be a BRR, break and retest, of this of the box. All right, brand new candle. How's this one gonna start? If it gets below this pink, I'm gonna cut the stream and go into the Discord. This is actually painful. This is actually painful, especially when we already made our money for the day. We already made our money for today. No reason to sit here and do this all day. All right, in the meantime, I'm going to go over some of the trades, or the maybe 2 trades we had today. So early this morning, we identified this possible wedge. The wedge ended up working out. We identified our magenta trend line. Once we identified the magenta, we had 2 options. It was either going to be this right here or this right here. So because this never happened, it only left us with one other option, which was the break of our magenta for calls. We rode the magenta, well, me personally, till about I got stopped out on this candle here, and then I got completely stopped. Whenever it went below this is when I got stopped out of all my contracts, below this wick right here. So I got stopped out here. We entered here. I had a pretty good fill. So even if you had a horrible fill, even if you had the fill at the worst, this is a good trade. Then we identified this teal. On the break of the teal, it took us to our next key level, which was the next teal. So this is a quick scalp opportunity within the scalp range, right? Because if you see this shadow type squiggly or jagged line, this indicates chop and to watch out. The Discord, we're fully aware when we're in here, we're scalping. Also, I said it a million times, but anyways. So we knew we had to be Johnny on the spot with our entries and with our exits to get anything out of this. This is actually a pretty good move. Let's say you entered at the worst possible time. This is 8806. 8806 has been a major level for us, and it went down to 87.47 is a great move. It's a great move, great Starbucks money. Beyond that, we identified that between the 20 and the 5, there's nothing really to do here, right? It's choppy. The only real entries would be if we break, retest, and reject the 20 to the upside, or if we break, retest, and reject the 5 to the downside. So those are the only real setups we have available. In between here, this is the most risk because no one knows what's going to happen in here. But we do know it. Let's see. Okay. Ignore this shoulder. Ignore this. I guess I'll leave it, but it really should be. I'll just take it away. Here's our risk for puts. We're risking that it's gonna hit this line, turn around, and spike back up. So if you're in puts, you understand that you need to go level by level. If we get below, minimum we need to be below 86.38. If we get below 86.38, maybe let it run for a bit until the next key level, which is going to be probably this box here. This liquidity box here. If we get underneath this, let it run for a bit. If the price gets underneath this, then you let it run for a bit. Up until here, you're scalping. Under here, maybe let it run to next key level. Okay? But otherwise, this is just sideways. We need this 30-minute candle to go green. We need this one to go green if it's going to go up. And, you know, we're still comfortable in this teal. Let me clear this real quick. They're still comfortable within the teal. So let this break, and also this one. It also has to be this one. And if it's not today, then fine. You got to be okay with that. We can't sit here and force trades. That's not a good idea. Maybe we might have a... Maybe we're forming this pattern right here. That's going to be highly dependent on the way this candle finishes. And this one has 22 minutes left. I think we want to look for this break of yellow for calls and then the break of teal for puts. I'm not saying this one, right? We want it to be above the 20. Above the 20. Yeah, that's the answer. So let this play out. They might be forming this little wedge here between yellow and teal. Might be doing this, which would make sense with this. So allow what needs to happen. I'm going to cut the live stream. I'm going to hang out in the Discord though, so I'll be off on the side in the Discord. I'm checking in every now and again, but yeah, for the live stream, I think I'm done for the day. So if you're interested in learning how to trade with us, go to livespytrading.com. But before you do that, make sure you understand that do not consider this financial advice. Trading stocks involve risk. The owner of the channel and the traders that appear in the broadcast and their affiliate companies are not liable for any losses inflicted in relation to its content. Once you're done reading and absorbing that, go to livespytrading.com so you can get sorted out. We had a pretty good day. Actually, I'll leave it on for a little bit, and I'm going to borrow the chart for some admin. So give me a moment. I'll be right back. So SUP, we're gonna find out. We'll know when we break and retest that 20. We'll know if that flag's gonna form. Until then, we don't know, because we're still in this liquidity. We're not gonna know until you know, minimum this happens right here, until we break this break and retest this yellow. But if we form the shoulder right here underneath, this is going to be an important level over here. Whatever I have right here, this is important. So they're really comfortable with this teal, right? Very comfortable with this teal. But anyways, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, everybody else, that's been my time. If you're interested in joining the Discord so you can get extra sauce, go ahead and join the Discord. It's on livespytrading.com. I'll get you sorted out. Until then, goodbye. Oh, and Discord, I'm going to go ahead and... Actually, I'll just do it with everyone on the screen. It's not going to matter. It's not going to matter. Give me a second. I need to borrow the chart. Okay, look, there's nothing really to do inside this liquidity box, okay? There's nothing really to do. Don't try to guess. Just let the market tell us what's gonna happen. We don't need to try to guess. They're stuck in this range. If whatever they want to do with it, they'll break, retest either way. So if they want to go to the upside, they're gonna break and retest to the upside. You don't have to get 100% of the move. We'll get something out of it. We'll get something. Just don't overstay your welcome. Don't over leverage. Take profit. I don't care if it's $3. I was a $3 hauler yesterday, and I was okay with it. If it wants to go up, this candle needs to go green. This 1230 candle needs to go green. Anyways, YouTube, that's been my time. You have a good day. Goodbye.